Hi, my name is Moses Rubin. Welcome to the Garnet Sports Network. Today, the Swarthmore College Garnet take on the Desales University Bulldogs. Both coaches are out to hand their lineups over to the umpires on a chilly day here in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania at Clothier Field. Swarthmore's College Garnet will go to work against the Desales Bulldogs, and this is their lineup that pitcher Ryan Warm will be facing today. Leading off is the designated hitter, number 27, Charlie Barrebo, batting second. The shortstop, number 10, Cody Mish, hitting third, and at second base, Preston Amato, cleaning up, and at third base, Johnny Medina, batting fifth, and at first base, the junior from Waldwick, New Jersey, Sergio Diaz, number 41, batting sixth, and behind the plate, Michael White, batting seventh, and in left field, Nick White, hitting eighth, and in center, number 14, Isaiah Goodman, and batting ninth, the right fielder, number 39, Evan Plummer. A little bit of a grudge match today for the Garnet, a team that went all the way to the College World Series in Appleton, Wisconsin last year, but now is trying to exact revenge. Desales handed the Garnet last year one of only 11 losses. And so you have to wonder if these Garnet players are looking for a little bit of payback. Coaches shake hands with the umpires. And the Garnet will take the field.
Now taking the field, your
And so
2019
the Garnet take the
Swarthmore
field. They will be
College
working behind left-handed pitcher Ryan Warm as we pay tribute to America here at Clothier Field. So welcome back to Clothier Field at Swarthmore College as the Garnet take on Desales University Bulldogs. The Garnet go to work behind junior left-hander Ryan Warm. The infield from third to first, Connor Elliott, the senior from North Carolina at third. At shortstop, Luke Mutz. At second base, Michael Seppi. And at first base, Cole Beaker. In the outfield from left to right is senior Charlie Levitt, junior Jared Gillen, and junior Holden Bridge. Doing the catching for the Garnet, sophomore from Elliott City, Maryland, Sam Jacobson. They will be backing up left-handed pitcher Ryan Warm. Warm made 2 starts so far this year, thrown 15 innings. He has allowed 5 runs, all of them earned for an ERA of 3.00. He's held hitters to just a 192 batting average, walking 7 and striking out 10. So Barrabo steps up to the dish. Warren toes the rubber.
Now batting, number 27, Charlie Barrabo.
And the pitch is low, and we are underway. Barrabo in 15 games so far this year, hitting .407, .446 on base percentage, 1 home run and 16 RBIs, finds himself quickly ahead on the count 2-0. Warren misses low, count 3-0. Not the start the southpaw hoped for. Here comes the automatic. And there's a strike, count 3-1. It will be Barrabo, Mish, and Amato to start the game here for the Bulldogs. As Warm's 3-1 pitch is caught on a miss. And the count now is full at 3-2. Desales 7-8 so far on the year, but 4-2 in their conference. As Barrabo strikes out, and there is 1 away. So Warren battles back from a 3-0 count to K. Barrabo, and that will bring up the shortstop for the Bulldogs, Cody Mish, 292 hitter with a .424 on base percentage. He has a double and 5 RBIs to go along with 14 hits. As Warren deals a strike, and the count is 0-1. The curveball's tapped to second. Seppi charges, fields, fires to first in time, and there are 2 away.
Now batting, number 3, Preston Amato.
So with 2 outs here in the first, Preston Amato, the senior from Center Valley, Pennsylvania, steps to the plate. Amato, a .288 hitter through the first 15 games. That's 15 hits and 52 at-bats. Gets on base at a .422 rate. And Warm again deals a strike. So after 3 consecutive balls, it's been nothing but business from Ryan Warm, who kicks and deals the 0-1. Just misses outside, and the count 1-1. And Warm's 1-1 misses outside for a ball, count 2-1. And Warm's 2-1 misses low and in, Count 3-1. Amato has one of the better eyes on the Bulldogs. He's only hitting 288, but has a 422 on base percentage and has drawn 11 walks. But that one's chipped back to Warm. He fields, fires to first in time, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. The Bulldogs 0, the Garnet coming to bat here on the Garnet Sports Network. So we head now to the bottom of the first. And this is the Garnet lineup that will take on J.J. Paul, a freshman left-hander from Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Leading off is the center fielder, Jared Gillen. Batting second, and in left field is Charlie Levitt. Hitting third, the first baseman, Cole Beaker. Cleaning up, the designated hitter, Jackson Roberts. Batting fifth, and at second base, Michael Seppi. Hitting sixth, and at third, Connor Elliott. Batting seventh and in right field, Holden Bridge. Hitting eighth, the shortstop, Luke Muntz. And batting ninth, the catcher, Sam Jacobson. Gillen digs in. Paul toes the rubber, winds and deals. And there is a strike, and the count 0-1. Paul, tall left-hander, has made 2 starts thus far this year. And has struggled a bit, pitching to a 5.91 ERA, allowing 7 runs in 10 2/3 innings. Gillen, on the other hand, has gotten off to a strong start, hitting .394 across 14 games. That's 26 hits in 66 at-bats. Has a .452 on base percentage. And it's hit 3 home runs, a triple, 5 doubles, and logged 17 RBIs, all from the leadoff spot. See fouls Paul's offering off, and the count is 1-2. Paul kicks and deals. It'll be a 1-2. And that's Sky to right field. Coming on is Plummer. He'll make the catch. And there is 1 away.
Now batting number 3, Charlie Levitt.
That'll bring up the senior left-hander Charlie Levitt. And Paul deals. There's a strike, 2-seamer on the inside corner, and the count 0-1. Breaking ball misses high, and the count even at 1-1. There's a strike. Breaking ball drops in on the inside corner. Count 1-2. And the pitch is low in the dirt. Count even 2-2. And the ball misses high. Count runs full at 3-2. Payoff pitch to Levitt. It'll be a 3-2 and time is called. Levitt steps out. Adjusts his helmet, steps back in. The payoff pitch. It's caught on and missed. Tipped into the glove of White. And there are 2 down. Speaker takes a fastball high and is ahead on the count 1-0. Beaker, the two-way first baseman for the Garnet, is hitting .442 across the first 15 games as he takes a curveball for a strike. He has 1 home run, 24 RBIs, and boasts a .571 on-base percentage. And there's a strike. And the count 1-2. Takes a breaking ball high, and the count even now at 2-2. That ball's lined into the left center field gap. That's going to drop and will be a base hit. Beaker rounds first and takes a big turn, but decides to hold on. And he is now on with a 2-out single. So that'll bring Jackson Roberts to the plate. Senior is hitting .321 on the year. That's 18 hits and 56 at-bats, 4 doubles, 15 RBIs, and a .441 on-base percentage. Paul working from the stretch from the first time today. Looks at Beaker, kicks and deals. As that ball skips around in the dirt, but Beaker stays put. Beaker 2 for 2 on steals on the year. Sort of nursing a gingerly hamstring. So a year after leading the Garnet in stolen bases, his aggression on the bases has been somewhat tampered, although his offensive production has not suffered at all. Paul holds the set, kicks and deals. And Roberts fouls it off. The count 2-1. And the 2-1's fouled off first base side. Giving chase is Diaz, but it is out of play. And the count now even at 2-2. So the Garnet have a man on. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs for Jackson Roberts, trying to keep the inning alive and make something happen here in the bottom of the first. Paul comes set. It'll be a 2-2. And Paul balks as Beaker sort of jumped off first and then jumped back. Paul thought about making a move over, but then just sort of stutter-stepped and put his foot back down after starting his delivery. So a balk puts a man in scoring position for Roberts. Runner on second, 2's across the board. It'll be a 2-2 on its way to Roberts. Pitch is fouled back, and the count holds at 2-2. Paul gets the sign, comes set. The 2-2 on its way. And that's grounded fair down the third base line. It's a base hit. Beaker will score. Roberts rounds first, and he heads to second. He'll be there with a 2-out RBI double. Oh, and he's trying for third, and the ball gets away, rolls into the Garnet dugout, and Roberts is going to score. So ball rattled around in the corner. White struggled to field it, and they should have had Roberts dead to rights as he rounded second and tried for third, but he put pressure on the defense, and they could not make a play. The ball airmailed into the Garnet dugout, and just like that, Jackson Roberts, with a little bit of hustle, turns a 2-out double into a Little League home run, and the Garnet take a 2-0 lead. Paul misses high with his offering to Seppi. And now the home plate umpire has some words for the Garnet players who, in their enthusiasm, have been leaking out of the dugout and onto the track outside their bench. It's a good problem to have as Paul deals a 1-0, and the breaking ball falls in for a strike. Count 1-1. Seppi on the year, a .326 hitter across 12 starts in 13 games. So he takes a strike, and the count runs 1-2. Seppi boasts a .475 on-base percentage with 15 hits sprinkled across 46 at-bats. Be a 2-2. Caught on a miss, breaking ball, strike 3. And that'll do it. But the Garnet get a couple runs on 2 hits and 1 big error. Nobody left on base at the end of an inning of play. It's 2-0 Garnet here on the Garnet Sports Network. So we head now to the top of the second. It will be Medina, Diaz, and White for Desales going back to work against Ryan Warren. Johnny Medina, a freshman from Hawthorne, New Jersey, takes the pitch outside and the count 1-0. Medina's started 10 games, appeared in 12, has 15 hits in 40 at-bats for a .375 batting average. He's got a home run to go along with a walk and 4 strikeouts. Gets on base at a .381 rate. And Warm's 1-1 is kind of missed. And the count 1-2. Warm's 1-2, breaking ball misses low. And the count now even at 2-2. And 2-2 misses down. And Medina has run the count full at 3-2. Here's the pitch. And the 3-2 is low, ball 4. And the Bulldogs have their leadoff man aboard.
Now batting number 41, Sergio Diaz.
So that brings up Sergio Diaz, a junior from Waldwick, New Jersey, left-handed hitter. Diaz has a .481 on-base percentage. He's walked 10 times, close second, good for second on the Bulldogs roster. He also has a home run and has struck out 9 times. Warm holds the set and deals. And there's a strike on the outside corner, count even at 1-1. And that ball squirts by Jacobson, and Medina will make his way to second base. So with nobody out here in the top of the second, the Bulldogs find themselves threatening. They're hard-hitting lefty at the plate and a man in scoring position. Warm checks the runner. It'll be a 2-1. That's Chop back up the middle. Mutz fields. Fires to first in time. Medina moves to third, and there is one away.
Now batting number 11, Michael White.
There's a strike on the outside corner. And Warm ahead on the count 0-1. Warm's 0-1, misses low and away. Michael White, a .414 hitter through 7 starts and 14 appearances. That's 12 hits and 29 at-bats. He's got a couple of home runs, 6 strikeouts, and a walk so far in the year, boasting a .452 on-base percentage. Warm now ahead on the count 1-2. Medina leads off third. The pitch. Blocked by Jacobson in the dirt. Count even at 2-2. And the pitch. That one's sky to shallow center. Gillen coming on. And he's not going to be able to get there as that will fall. Medina scores. Sort of a bloop base hit with the infield in and an RBI
Now batting number 18
for White. And the Garnet now lead 2-1. That brings Nick White to the plate. White, a senior from the Woodlands, Texas. He leads the Bulldogs in nearly every single offensive category. He is a .490 hitter in 15 starts. He has a .1294 OPS, a .518 slugging percentage. That one's good for second on the team. And a .776 slugging percentage, also good for second. He has 2 home runs, 6 doubles, a triple, and 20 RBIs. He's walked 5 times, struck out 6. White leads off second, and the curveball to White falls in for a strike. And the count is 0-1. So now that the run is scored, Garnet infield drops back to double play depth. Warm checks Michael White. And the pitch misses outside, count 1-1. Be a 1-1 on its way. The pitch. Caught on a miss. White out in front of Warm's off speed, and the count 1-2. And Warm checks the runner, and they got him. Caught leaning. Pickoff goes 1-3, and the Garnet catch a break. There are now 2 away. I don't know where Michael White was going. He has no stolen bases on the year. Catchers not known for their speed, but leaning on Warm's move. As Nick White now grounds one to second, Seppi fields and fires to first in time. But the Bulldogs get a run on 1 hit. No errors and no men left on base. At the end of 1.5, it's 2-1 Garnet here on the Garnet Sports Network. So we head now to the bottom of the second. It will be Elliott, Bridge, and Mutz for the Garnet. Elliott, the senior and third baseman, hitting .304 across the first 14 games. That's 17 hits and 56 at-bats. He has 1 home run, 6 walks to go along with 6 strikeouts, and gets on base at a .371 rate. Finds himself now ahead on the count quickly, 2-0. That one's scorched up the middle for a base hit, and the Garnet have their leadoff man aboard.
Now batting number 17, Holden Bridge.
Bridge having a scorching hot spring, hitting .500, that's 30 hits and 60 at-bats, a .537 on-base percentage, 5 doubles, 16 RBIs. As Paul deals, and Bridge fouls it off, first base side out of play, and the count is 0-1. And Paul misses up and away and count even 1-1.
It varies too. It varies. Like for this team, hitting over 400 is considered good.
Be a 1-1
Probably right.
on its way. And throw over to first. Elliott back standing up.
The major leagues,
A little step-off move there from Paul.
280 is considered.
Elliott has run. He's stolen 1 base in 2 attempts, but not quite his MO.
It was in like 2001, for example. I didn't even see the 249 thing. I don't remember. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Paul comes set. It'll be a 1-1.
Seemed like he kind
The
of tried
pitch.
to avoid
It's fouled straight back. Count 1-2.
like how much that sort of thing has changed. You know, like because if you're being honest about it, you can say that like the sabermetricians and stuff are making it too hard for people to like, keep up, and it's making the game more boring. I don't know how you view it. I'm fine with it.
1-2 misses up and away. Count even at 2-2.
They're just coming up with ways to make like pitching unhittable, like just how much rest and like how they're breaking up the innings, like, stuff like that. It's just
Here's the pitch. It'll be a 2-2. That's fouled straight back, and the count holds at 2-2. Among qualified hitters, Bridge strikes out the least of anyone on the Garnet team, just 3 strikeouts on the year in 60 at-bats. And fouls this one off as he continues to battle. Count holds 2-2.
It just doesn't lend itself to like Instagram videos and stuff. It's a little boring.
2-2 on its way. Fouled off again as Bridge has worked quite a lengthy at-bat.
When you have like Instagram pages like House of Highlights and like Bleacher Report and that sort of thing that strictly cover like football and basketball. So anytime they post anything else, they post
2-2 on its way. Elliott off first. The pitch.
kids like this
Shot foul, and the at-bat continues.
is up around 37 now.
Elliott off first. It'll be a 2-2.
Hard to strike out.
That ball misses up and away, and the count now runs full 3-2.
Most impressive number.
So after spoiling a couple tough breaking balls, Bridge has worked himself a full count. No on, no one out. Here in the bottom of the second, Garnet trying to add to a 2-1 lead. Paul comes set. It'll be a 3-2. That ball skied to center field. Back is Goodman. Over a little bit to his left. He'll make the catch. And there is one away.
Now batting number 7, Luke Mutz. Who is Matt Romernado's have a good at bat.
That'll bring up the freshman Luke Mutz. Trying to have a good at-bat here. 1 on, 1 out. And the pitch. There's a strike. And the count 0-1. That misses. There's a strike. And the count 0-2. That misses low and in. It'll be a 1-2. 2 mutts. Elliott off first, and the pitch is chopped weakly to first. Fires to second in time. Oh, he's safe. Trying to work a quick transfer. Mish dropped the ball, and they're saying he never had it in the first place. Trying to turn 2, and now the umpires are going to meet and talk about it as Desales head coach would like a word.
See if the NFL banned blindside blocks. Like, you're not allowed to. I don't know anymore, honestly. But there's, like, it just happened. Blindside blocks have been banned.
Oh, like you can't.
Like, hit someone that's not looking at you.
Yeah, okay. That's stupid.
How are they supposed to know? When a
That's
player's
literally
looking or something.
that's
Like,
what he said. As in you can't even tackle the guy, or you just can't block him from.
it's definitely blocking. Tackling, I'm sure. Yeah, that'd be really bad.
So the Garnet catch a break. After the clarification has been offered. That's going to go as an E6, an error on Mish. Now the Garnet have 2 on with 1 out, and their catcher, Sam Jacobson, at the plate. Jacobson, a .250 hitter. That's 7 hits and 28 at-bats, a double, and 9 RBIs. Yo 1 on its way, the pitch. It's fouled off. And the count 0-2. Paul Cum said it'll be an 0-2. The pitch. Fouled off. As Jacobson stays alive. That pitch is sky to the infield. Infield fly rules called and in effect. Batter is out. Runners hold. And there are 2 away.
Now batting number 5, Jared Gillen.
That turns over the Garnet lineup and brings up center fielder Jared Gillen. Gillen 0 for 1 on the day. Flied out to center in the first. Takes a breaking ball for a strike here, and the count is 0-1. 2 on, 2 out for the Garnet, trying to take advantage of an error and a leadoff hit from Connor Elliott as Gillen fouls one off and finds himself quickly behind on the count 0-2.
Like, he was like, you know, it's exactly what he said. He's like, a win definitely has something to do with it.
And that ball's lined into right field. That is a base hit. They're going to wave Elliott around third. Here comes the throw from Plummer. It will be not in time. Gets away from the catcher, and Gillen will move to second. It's a base hit and an RBI from Gillen. And the Garnet take a 3-1 lead.
Now batting number 3, Charlie Levin.
So that'll be a single for Gillen. He moves to second on the throw. And now Charlie Levitt has a chance to add to the damage here with 2 out. And Paul misses up and away. Count 1-0. Got on a miss. The count 1-1.
He's feeling it now.
That ball's lined, but right at the first baseman, Diaz. And that will do it.
Your score at the end of the second
But the
inning,
Garnet get a run
Desales 1, Swarthmore
on
3.
2 hits, 1 error, and there are 2 men left on base. At the end of 2, it's 3-1 Garnet here on the Garnet Sports Network.
Isaiah Goodman.
So we head now to the top of the third. It will be Goodman, Plummer, and Barabo. That's 8-9-1 for the Bulldogs, and they go back to work against Ryan Warm. And Warm deals. And there's the strike, and the count is 0-1. Goodman looking for his first hit on the year. This is just his 3rd start. He has walked twice and stolen a bag thus far. And swings through Warm's offering and finds himself behind on the count, 1-2. And the pitch. That's chop foul, third base side. Out of play. And the count, 1-2.
Coming into today, in his last 2 starts here, Warm had pitched 19 innings. His last 2 starts at
It'll be a 1-2 on its way from Warm. That pitch is grounded up the middle. Ranging to his left is Mutz. Dives, can't make the play. The ball rolls into center field for a base hit. So Goodman picks up his first hit of the year.
Now batting, number 39, Evan.
And the Bulldogs have 1 on with 1 out for their right fielder, Evan Plummer. Plummer, in 12 starts, lays a bunt down. Charging is Elliott, fires to first. Not going to be in time. And so a seeing eye ground ball and a bunt has the Bulldogs set up. They have runners on first and second with nobody out.
Charlie Barabo.
And the top of their order up. Barabo 0 for 1 on the day. A .407 hitter across 15 games. That's 24 hits and 59 at-bats. He's got a home run and 16 RBIs, and he lays down a bunt. That'll be foul. And the count is 0-1.
Well, generally, because once they see the bump, they're charging in already.
Yeah, and like they have momentum going more in the right direction. Like if Warren picked it up, he had to like spin his whole body around. Whereas Connor was like going in the right direction.
Be 0-1 from Warm. The pitch. Runner goes, and the pitch is in the dirt, but Goodman swipes third. No throw down. It was a breaking ball from Warm. Jacobson had to block it just to keep it in front of him. Had no play at third base. So now the Bulldogs have men on the corners. Warm comes set. It'll be a 1-1. The pitch. Cut on a miss. And the count 1-2. Warm comes set, runner goes, and he picks him off. Throw down to second is in time, and the runner holds at third. So Plummer went on Warm's first movement. He picked over to first. Beaker able to check the runner at third and then fire a strike to Michael Seppi at second base for the putout. So instead of having men on the corners and nobody out, now the Bulldogs have a runner on third and one out. Their leadoff hitter behind on the count, 1-2, and he strikes out. Ball trickles away from Jacobson. Throw down to first. Jacobson falls. Beaker makes the catch, but Warm, backing up at home plate, holds Goodman at third base. So that's a strikeout and a 2-3 putout.
Now batting number 10, Kobe Mish.
And that'll bring Kobe Mish up to the plate. Mish, a .292 hitter across 13 games. A double and 5 RBIs. This Warm misses low and away. Count 1-0. There's a strike. And the count even at 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's chopped back to the mound. Warm bobbles. Elliott Fields charges, fires in time. Nice play to back up his pitcher. So after putting the two leadoff men on, Warm works out of trouble. No runs, a hit, no errors. No runs, 2 hits. No errors. And 1 man left on base. At the end of 2.5, it's 3-1 Garnet. We head to the bottom of the third. It will be Beaker, Roberts, and Seppi for the Garnet. That's 3, 4, and 5 in their lineup. As they go back to work against J.J. Paul. And the pitch is chopped up the middle. Ranging to his right is Amato. Fires to first in time. And there is one
Now
away.
batting number 33, Jackson Roberts.
And brings up Jackson Roberts. Roberts tripled in his first trip to the plate. Scored on the same play on a throwing error from the shortstop. He now is ahead on the count, 1-0. And the pitch. This is outside, count 2-0.
Between innings, they should have him go stand out again.
And that ball's rocketed into center field and snagged on the fly by Goodman. Comes in a couple steps to make the catch, and there are 2
Now
away.
batting number 45, Mike Seppi.
Yeah, he didn't like I didn't start running for a little while.
Paul has been mostly effective thus far, the victim of some shoddy defense. Has allowed 3 runs to score across the first 2 innings, but now, here in the third, he has 2 quick outs, missing up and into the second baseman, Michael Seppi. There's a strike. And the count, 1-1.
Whenever Sam tries to do that stuff, it cracks me up. He does like
Seppi rolls one foul just outside the first base line, and the count is 1-2. The second baseman struck out in his first at-bat, trying to get something started here for the Garnet with 2 out here in the third.
that's like his kind of.
Be a 1-2. Fastball is high in the count, 2-2. The 2-2 on its way. And that Gret Seppi on his forearm.
Now batting number 2, Connor Elliott.
And he will go to first. So that's a hit by pitch, and with 2 out, the Garnet have a man on for their senior third baseman, Connor Elliott. Elliott reached on a single in his first at-bat as Desales' head coach would like some clarification on the hit by pitch.
I don't know him as well as you guys, but he strikes me as the type of person that would just be like, I don't win hits. And I just say that because of his hat and what I know about him.
Paul comes set. The pitch to Elliott is up and away, and the count 1-0. Seppi leads off first. He will run. He has 5 steals and 6 tries. Elliott fouls that one back into the mask of Michael White, and the count even at 1-1. Paul steps off and checks on the runner. Seppi dives back safely. Seppi off first. It'll be a 1-1 to Connor Elliott. 1 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the third. The pitch. Up and away. And Elliott now ahead on the count, 2-1. As Elliott rips that one foul down the third base line. He got all of Paul's breaking ball, but just a little early on it. And now the count is even at 2-2. Let's see if they try to make something happen by putting the runners in motion here. 2 strikes on Elliott. As that ball is low and in the dirt, count full 3-2. So now Seppi will be going. 3-2, 2 out. Elliott trying to keep the bottom of the third alive for the Garnet. Seppi off first. Paul comes set. It'll be a 3-2. And the ball is high. Ball 4. So after 2 quick outs, a hit batsman and a base on balls, put runners on first and second for the right fielder, Holden Bridge. Bridge worked a lengthy at-bat his first time to the dish, ultimately flying out to center field. Now is a chance, with runners in scoring position, to add to the Garnet lead. Paul comes set, runner on second and first. The pitch. Cut on and fouled back, and the count 0-1. Bridge came into the game hitting 500, now just a tick under after flying out in the first. Looks at an 0-1 from Paul and fouls it back, count 0-2. Briefly looked like Paul was going to work a quick inning, getting the first 2 Garnet hitters, 3 and 4, in their lineup, to hit into quick outs. But then a hit batsman, a base on balls bring up Bridge here with 2 strikes and 2 outs. The 0-2 is low and in, count 1-2.
Yeah. Can you imagine they came here and like you guys were up there chanting like just like basketball or something? But they wouldn't.
Seppi off second, Elliott off first. It'll be a 1-2 to Bridge. Paul comes set, kicks and deals. That ball's popped up first base side, foul territory. Coming on is Diaz. He's under it. He'll make the catch. And that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left on base. At the end of 3, it's 3-1 Garnet. So we head now to the 4th.
Now batting number 3, Preston Amato.
It will be Amato, Medina, and Diaz for the Bulldogs, going back to work against Ryan Warm. Trying to close the gap on a 3-1 deficit as Amato shows bunt, takes it back, and takes the ball to count 1-0. That ball's lined to right field. There's a base hit. And the Bulldogs have their leadoff man aboard.
Now batting, number 21, Johnny Medina.
That'll bring Johnny Medina to the dish. Drew a walk and scored a run in his first at-bat. Takes a curveball outside and is now ahead on the count 1-0. A little bit of an unconventional outing for Warm. He struck out 2 across the first 3 innings, but has struggled a little more with control than we are used to seeing as Medina swings over the top of an off-speed pitch, and the count is even at 1-1. The grounder up the middle, bobbled by Seppi, still makes the force, but can't complete the throw in time. Taylor made double play ball, and it looks like Amato is hurt, limping and failing to get to his feet coming off the bag. It really looks like he cannot put weight on that leg, and the Garnet trainers will come out as he is doubled over. Looks like he is in a tremendous amount of pain. Ball was hit hard up the middle. Seppi had Medina played perfectly. Just couldn't come up with the short hop, bobbled it around, and then sort of had to hurriedly reach for the base with his foot. And I don't know if Amato clipped him or they clipped each other, if he just went into the base funny. Anyway, the force out is made 4-4. And because of the bobble, Medina reaches base. So we hope Amato is okay, that it's just a cramp or a short-term injury, although it looked pretty serious.
Now batting, number 41, Sergio Diaz.
That'll bring up Diaz for the Bulldogs. Diaz 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out. Medina off first. 1 out here, and Warm deals to the lefty. There's a strike. The count 0-1. Warm checks on Medina, who's back quickly. Standing up. And the pitch. Curveball on the outside corner for a strike. And the count 0-2.
Yeah, like I'll leave here at like 5:55. Because I told them
0-2 on its way, the pitch.
they're setting.
It's grounded foul, first base side out of play. Count holds 0-2. Medina on the bigger side, but does have a stolen base on the year. It'll be an 0-2 now from Warren, but he checks on Medina, who's back standing up. And we'll do it again. Warren comes set. The 0-2. Misses outside, count 1-2. Warm comes set. It'll be a 1-2 to Diaz. The pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second is not in time. Trickles into center field, but no advance. Looks like that stolen base caught Jacobson off guard. He caught the ball and sort of held it a little bit, thinking that maybe they had a chance at getting a called strike 3. It was a curveball that came close, but maybe did just break around the zone as opposed to into it. But it cost them a chance at a caught stealing as Medina swipes second, and now the Bulldogs have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Time is called. Warm comes set. It'll be a 2-2. Apple's lined into center field. Back goes Guillen. Still back. He'll make a running catch at the wall. Throwing it quickly in. That is a nice running catch from Guillen and a good job to get the ball in time. And there are 2 away.
11, Michael White.
So the Garnet have 2 out. Bulldogs have a man aboard. Warm comes set. Checks on the runner. No throw. Toes the rubber again. Looks into Jacobson for the sign. Michael White at the plate. Pitches low. Grounded out. 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI is White. One on the way from Warm. Pitch is chopped to short. Mutz fields. Fires from the hole. Not in time. That was a tough play. Mutz had to range to his left. Backhand. And throw across his momentum. And could not make the throw in time. That'll bring up Nick White with men on the corners. Warm comes set. The pitch. There's a strike. Breaking ball in the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Medina off third. White off first. 2 on, 2 out. Warm's 0-1, misses outside, and the count 1-1. White picked off earlier in the game. Has no stolen bases. Can't quite be imagined as a threat to run. As Warm falls behind on the count 2-1.
Yeah, we got 6 right now, plus like 1 who's essentially gonna come and then 2 others who got in.
Here's the pitch. Cut on a miss. As White swings through a changeup. It'll be a 2-2 from Warm. As he checks on White, who dives back safely. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. White at the plate, Warm comes set. The 2-2 on its way. is line, base hit right field. 1 run will score. White holds at second. It's a base hit and an RBI for Nick White. And the Garnet lead is now 3-2.
Now batting number 14, Isaiah Goodman.
That will bring up the center fielder, Ian Goodman. Logged his first hit in his first at-bat this game. And he lays down a bunt right to Elliott. Bare hands, fires to first in time. Nice play by the senior third baseman, Connor Elliott. And that will do it. But the Bulldogs get a run on 3 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. We've played 3.5. It's 3-2 Garnet. We head now to the bottom of the fourth.
Number 7, Luke Mutz.
The Garnet leading 3-2. It will be Mutz, Jacobson, and Gillen for the Garnet. That is 9. That is 8, 9, and 1. As that misses low. And the count is 1-0. As that ball's grounded to second. Amato Fields throws to first. Just in time as Mutz moves quickly down the line. And there is 1 away. There's a strike from Paul, and the count is 0-1. There's the strike, and the count 0-2. It'll be an 0-2 on its way. Pitch is low, count 1-2. Just fouled off. As that's skied into right. Plummer makes the catch, and there are 2 away.
Jared Gillen.
Gillen swings through the first pitch. The count 0-1.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a U in there, it's definitely B. Yeah, right.
There's a strike. And the count 0-2. Gillen 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI, looking to get something started with 2 outs here. It'll be an 0-2 on its way from Paul. Fouled off as Gillen spoils the outside fastball, and the count is steady at 0-2. That misses up and in. Count 1-2. And the pitch from Paul is in the dirt low. Count even at 2-2.
Yeah, well,
3 minutes after.
and then I said 30% once the runner got in.
Can't go from 0 to 30.
The 2-2. That's inside. And the count now runs full on Gillen. 3-2. So 2 quick outs from the bottom 2 hitters in the Garnet lineup. Now Gillen has worked the count full here in the bottom of the 4th. Paul toes the rubber. It'll be a 3-2. The payoff pitch is ripped to shortstop. Mishfields fires to first in time, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors as the Garnet go 1-2-3. We've played 4. It's 3-2 Garnet. So we head to the top of the 5th.
Now batting.
It will be Plummer, Barebo, and Mish. For the Bulldogs, that's 9, 1, and 2, going back to work against Ryan Warm. Warm so far has allowed 1 earned run, 6 hits, and a walk to accompany 2 strikeouts. Through 4 innings of 2-run ball, he quickly gets ahead of Plummer 0-1. Missing now down with a breaking ball, count 1-1.
It doesn't happen till the end.
No, it happens throughout the song.
Oh, I see.
Pitch is fouled back, count 1-2.
Did you hear what he said?
It actually fits too, right? Definitely.
Caught on a miss, strike 3. And there is 1 away.
Now batting. Number 27, Charlie Barebo.
So Charlie Barebo comes to the dish. It has been a difficult afternoon for him thus far. He has struck out twice. Looking to get something started for the Bulldogs here in the 5th. Takes a strike from Warm on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. in general, Brabo has had a good spring. He came into the game hitting .407 with a .446 on base percentage, 24 hits and 59 at-bats. As Warms 1-1 is grounded weakly to third. Elliott charges, fields, fires to first in time, and there are 2 away. Looking like each of these lefties has settled down somewhat
10, Cody Mitch.
after an active beginning.
It also lends you to skying it way over the first baseman's head.
There haven't been any of those this year, though.
Knock on.
Warren misses just low on a breaking ball, and the count 1-0. Mish also 0 for 2 on the day, looking to get something started with 2 outs. It'll be a 1-0 from Warm, and the breaking ball misses low again, count 2-0. 2-0. His sky deep to center field. Back goes Gian. Still back. He's under it. Close to the track. Makes the catch, and that'll do it. So the Bulldogs go 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. At the end of 4.5, we're halfway through. Garnet lead 3-2. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It will be Levitt, Beaker, and Roberts for the Garnet. Levitt 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Has the rare and unfortunate task of facing a fellow left-hander on the mound. But he will try to start things off here in the 5th as he swings through a fastball and is behind on the count 0-1. He grounds it to second. Amato fields, fires to first in time, and Levitt sort of comes up limping there on the ground ball. And he looks hurt, not really wanting to put weight on that
Now batting number
left
23,
leg.
Cole Beaker.
That is an unfortunate sign for the Garnet. Levitt, their leader in OPS and franchise leader in home runs. Just before conferences are supposed to start, he will get some attention from trainers on the side. That pitch is low, and the count is 1-0.
It's like that, like rapper that, like, is like country.
It's a chilly afternoon, high of 48 degrees. So muscles can be tight. There's a strike. And Beaker finds himself behind on the count 1-2.
I think these guys are gonna be well on.
Stu ride 3. The 1-2 clips the outside corner, and Beaker goes down looking. So there are 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Jackson Roberts. Roberts 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI triple and a run scored. Takes a breaking ball outside here and is ahead on the count 1-0. Roberts fouls off the 1-0 and the count even now 1-1. And Paul misses outside, count 2-1.
We didn't have any problems with the last game. We didn't have any problems with the last game.
2-1 on its way. Misses up and in. And Roberts now in the driver's seat. No one on, 2 out. Trying to get something to happen here in the bottom of the 5th. 3-1 on its way from Paul. The pitch. Fouled straight back. Count runs full at 3-2. Steve Ride 3. Breaking ball clips the outside corner. And that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Garnet go. 1-2-3. We head to the 6th. It's 3-2 Garnet. We head to the 6th. And as you can see, Charlie Levitt, who came up limping after a ground out in the top half of the inning, is back in his usual haunts in left field. So he seems to be good and good to go. And Warm is good to go. It will be Amato, Medina, and Diaz for the Bulldogs. 3, 4, and 5, heart of their lineup. And Warm finds himself behind in the count 1-0. Amato fouls the 1-0. Third base side on the ground. The count even 1-1. Amato skies it foul. First base side, Bridge and Beaker closing on it, but neither of them can get there. And Warm ahead on the count quickly, 1-2.
This is the song.
Where were you guys? Weren't you here?
I was. They didn't play this.
Oh, maybe it was the first game then. I don't know, but was this the first game?
Maybe it was the first game.
I don't remember this song.
I was here for both games. Like I was on play-by-play for the first. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, right. So maybe that's what it was.
And the 2-2 misses outside, and count runs full now on Amato. Amato 1 for 2 on the day. He has singled and grounded out. Payoff pitch is chopped right back to Warm. Flips it over to Beaker, and there is one away.
Now batting number 21, Johnny Medina.
Oh, I thought you were being like questioning. Is that a school?
Medina skies it to right. Bridge over a few steps and a few steps, camps under it and makes the catch, and there are 2 away. That'll bring up the first baseman, Sergio Diaz, a junior from Waldwick, New Jersey.
Now batting, number 41, Sergio Diaz.
Diaz 0 for 2 on the day. He's grounded and flied out. And takes a breaking ball outside from Levitt. And the count is 1-0. That ball is skied to left. On comes Levitt, but it'll land in foul territory. And the count 0-1. That breaking ball misses low, and the count is 2-1. That's grounded foul at Diaz's feet, and the count even at 2-2. So 2 quick outs. It'll be a 2-2 here from Warm. So that's ripped. Fair ball down the first base line. Should be extra bases. Diaz rounds first, and Bridge throws up his arms as that rolls past the outfield fence and into the playground near Strathaven Elementary School. And so, with 2 outs, Diaz is aboard with a ground rule double.
Now batting, number 11, Michael White.
So that brings up Michael White. He has a couple hits already on the day. Warm jumps out quickly ahead, 0-1. This is a big at-bat here for White and the Bulldogs. Tying run is on second base here in the top of the 6th with 2 out. Warm comes set. It'll be an 0-1. As he checks on Diaz. Nothing doing. Warm comes set. The 0-1. Cut on a miss. Strike 2. And now Warm is in the driver's seat. Ahead on the count 0-2. That ball's chopped to short. Mutz fields and bobbles. Can't make a play, and White will reach safely. So with 2 outs here in the 6th, the Bulldogs catch a break, and their inning is kept alive. They now have men on the corners with 2 out for their left fielder, Nick White. White is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI, trying to tie the game for the Bulldogs. The tying run sits 90 feet away. The pitch from Warm. There's a strike. And the count 0-1. Warm comes set. It'll be an 0-1. Check on the runner. Not much of a lead for White at first, having already been picked off once this afternoon. The pitch from Warm is inside, blocked by Jacobson in the dirt, and the count is 1-1. Diaz leads off third. White leads off first. Nick White stands in at the plate. 2 on, 2 out. The pitch from Warm is a breaking ball that falls in for a strike, and the count is 1-2. Warm trying to protect a 3-2 lead. He comes set. It'll be a 1-2 on its way to Nick White. Caught on a miss. Strike 3. So, at the end of 5.5, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error, 2 men left on base. We've played 5.5. It's 3-2 Garnet. We head now to the bottom of the 6th. It will be Seppi, Elliott, and Bridge up for the Garnet, going back to work against J.J. Paul, who, after allowing 3 runs in the first 2 innings, has settled down and looked to be in control of late. He drops a breaking ball in for a strike on Seppi and is ahead on the count 0-1. It'll be a 1-1 to Seppi, the pitch. Fouled back. The count 1-2. Seppi 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout reached on a hit by pitch in his previous at-bat, as that one sails up and in to the second baseman. And the count runs even at 2-2. See, lays off. Little off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Count runs full at 3-2. That's a bread and butter recipe for lefty-on-lefty pitching. Bust him in high and tight, then try to paint the corner, but Paul did not get the call. And the 3-2's on its way. And that will hit him again. So the second hit by pitch for Seppi today, serving as a little bit of a ball magnet. But the Garnet will take it as they have their leadoff man aboard for Connor Elliott. Elliott 1 for 1 on the day. He doubled, then drew a walk. He's also scored a run. Looking to start a little bit of a rally here for the Garnet here in the bottom of the 6th. Paul comes set, looks at Seppi, kicks and deals, and there's a strike. As he is now ahead on the count, 0-1. You have to imagine Paul getting somewhat close to the end of his leash. This is his 105th pitch upcoming. And it misses up and away and count even at 1-1. Seppi leads off first. He's 5 of 6 in stolen base attempts on the year, as Elliott takes a breaking ball low and is now ahead on the count 2-1. Paul comes set. It'll be a 2-1. Runner goes. Cut on a miss. Throw down to second is not in time. Seppi has his 6th stolen base of the year. As Elliott whiffs on the hit and run. But it doesn't matter. Seppi is quick enough on his own. His 6th stolen base of the year. And now Connor Elliott has a man in scoring position. Paul comes set. It'll be a 2-2. The pitch. Fouled. First base side. Out of play. Seppi off second. It'll be a 2-2 on its way to Elliott. Paul holds the set and deals. As Elliott fouls a breaking ball off his foot to stay alive and see another 2-2 pitch. Despite their 3-2 lead, the Garnet have just 4 hits on the day. Seppi reached on a hit by pitch, then stole second. He leads off second now. It'll be a 2-2 on its way from Paul. He kicks and deals. Misses high, and the count runs full at 3-2. Paul looks in for the sign. And comes set. The payoff pitch to Elliott is low and inside, ball 4. So, the Garnet have their first 2 men aboard. And that looks to be all for J.J. Paul. Desales' coach is taking a deliberate walk out to his pitcher. And that will do it for Paul, as the Bulldogs make a call to the bullpen. And we will be back after this.
number 17, Holden Bridge.
Oh my god, also Sam. Send Sam the video of you doing.
So the Bulldogs make a call to the bullpen. They go to freshman Will Manley of Middletown, Pennsylvania. He's thrown 8 innings, pitched to a 2.16 ERA, 7 strikeouts, and 7 walks. Bridge coming to the plate with 2 men aboard. And the pitch is raced into center field. Back goes Goodman. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Seppi. The throw to third is going to be not in time. So it's a sac fly as Seppi advances, darting very quickly back to third, sliding back to the bag, sort of peculiar, then getting up quickly and hustling over on the deep fly ball from Bridge. So Bridge moves the runner over. Now it's up to Mutz to get him in. White comes out in front of home plate and gives the signs. Seppi leads off third, Elliott off of first. Mutz at the plate. Manley comes set. The pitch is a bunt and a beauty, rolling fair down the first base line. And Mutz will reach to load the bases. That's about as clean a bunt as you could hope to get. Just nothing but chalk there. And the bases are loaded for Sam Jacobson. Manley comes set, and the pitch. Up and away, count 1-0. On its way. The pitch. Misses outside. Count 2-0. Nowhere to put Jacobson here. The bases are full of Garnet. Mutz leads off first. Elliott off of second. Seppi off of third. You wouldn't want to put Jacobson on, even if you could. He's a .250 hitter, and behind him is the season leader in home runs for the Garnet, Jared Gillen. As Manley finds the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 2-1. And that's skied first base side. Shallow coming on is Perlman, dives, makes the catch. Tagging is Sepe, he'll score. The throw home is not in time and rolls wide. That will allow Mutz to move to second base. And they're going to throw to third to appeal the tag.
Batting number 5, Jared Gillen.
So we scored.
And they say he left appropriately, and that will draw a conversation from Desales' head coach. So now the umpires are going to have a conversation. They're going to talk about whether they saw Michael Sepe leave early from third base on the catch. And they're going to say he was safe. So it is a sac fly and an RBI for Jacobson. And now, the sales coach is going to have a word with the field umpire. So Gillen comes to the plate with 2 men aboard. Elliott off first, Mutz off second. So he swings through a fastball, and the count is 0-1. And that one's ripped into left center field. That's going to be a base hit, and 2 runs will score. That splits the outfielders, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Gillen cruises into second, and he is there with a 2 RBI double. The Garnet now leads 6-2.
Now batting, number 3, Charlie Levitt.
That ball's grounded foul. And the count is 0-1. So with 1 on and 2 out, Charlie Levitt will look to add to the Garnet lead. Manley toes the rubber and looks in for the sign. Gillen off second. Levitt looking for his first hit on the day. The pitch. Cut on a miss. And the count 0-2. Manley comes set. It'll be an 0-2 to Levitt. And he steps off and wants to see the signs again. And again toes the rubber. Manley comes set. The 0-2 is up and in. Count 1-2. Levitt looking for his first hit of the day. Behind on the count here, 1-2. Gillen leads off second. Manley comes set. The pitch. Skied foul behind the plate and out of play. Count holds 1-2. Manley comes set. It'll be a 1-2. Cut on a miss, strike 3. But the Garnet get 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1 man on base. We've played 6. It's 6-2 Garnet here on the Garnet Sports Network. We head now to the top of the 7th.
14, Isaiah Goodman.
It will be Goodman, Plummer, and Barrebo for the Bulldogs. That's 8, 9, and 1. And they go back to work against Ryan Warm out for his 7th inning of work. Pitch from Warm is a breaking ball low. And Goodman finds himself ahead on the count 1-0. There's a strike. Doesn't look like anything's doing in the Garnet bullpen, despite the fact that Warren is getting up there in terms of workload. As Goodman swings through an off-speed pitch and is behind on the count 1-2. And he strikes out, and there is one away.
Now batting, number 39, Evan Plummer.
That last pitch, Ryan Worm's 100th. As the breaking ball misses low. And Plummer ahead on the count 1-0. 1-1 is cut on a miss on the count 1-1. Pitch from Warm. Misses outside and count 2-1. That ball's grounded in the hole. Past the diving alley, but fielded by Mutt. Steps, throws, fires. Not in time. Mutt sort of played back on that, and after Elliott missed it, it was going to be a pretty tough play. Ball not hit hard. So the Bulldogs have a man aboard with one out here in the 7th.
7, Charlie Barrebo.
And the top of their lineup coming to the plate. Barrebo has had a difficult afternoon, striking out twice, 0 for 3 on the day. Warm comes set, looks at Plummer and checks on him. Back safely.
It was the I know what it was. It was the one where he threw it and then Seppi dropped it.
Oh yeah. Or no, it was the Mutts.
It was someone dropped it at second base. I don't know who it is.
Oh yeah, it was last inning, right?
Yeah, it was Mutts when he just grounded it back. Yeah, because it was when the guy was going.
Be a 1-0 from Warm, the pitch. Breaking ball misses low and in, count 2-0. Plummer leads off first. Barrebo ahead on the count, 2-0, the pitch. Sky deep to right field, Bridge going back, away back. Looking up, Dilly Mike down, it's a danger ball. A 2-run home run from Charlie Barrebo. And the Garnet now leads 6-4. And that will conclude the evening for Ryan Warren. Or at the very least, draw a visit from the pitching coach. Doesn't look as though anyone is warming in the Swarthmore bullpen, and no one else from the infield has circled around the mound. So they're going to talk to the left-hander, try to settle him down. He's thrown a lot for a cold afternoon in the spring, but the Garnet want to see what he can do when he doesn't have much left in the tank. So they're going to push him to his limit, and he will face the shortstop,
Now batting, number 10,
Cody Mish. There's a strike. Owen's warming up. Okay. Is that? Yeah. Now some action in the Garnet bullpen as Owen Webb begins to warm. That ball's grounded to second. Seppi fields and throws wide. Dropped by Beaker. And so the Bulldogs catch a break. And they now have a man aboard. And that brings to the plate in second baseman Preston Amato the tying run. Warm will check on the runner at first. He's back safely. So an infield single, a 2-run home run, and now an E4 have brought the tying run to the plate for the Bulldogs. Amato behind on the count, 0-1. Warm comes set, checks the runner, and will throw over. Mish is back standing up. That ball sky deep to left field. Back goes Levitt to the track. He's under it. He'll make the catch. And there are 2 away. So Amato flirts with tying this one. But he is just kept in the yard. And there are 2 down for the third baseman, Johnny Medina. Medina behind on the count, and that will be the end of Ryan Warm's evening as they call on the sophomore Owen Webb to try to work out of the 7th. We'll be right back. So Owen Webb comes on in relief of Ryan Warm. Webb, a sophomore from Sherborne, Massachusetts. He goes to work against Johnny Medina. Falls quickly behind, or works quickly ahead on the count. 0-1. Medina represents the tying run for the Bulldogs. Mish leads off first. Webb comes set. It'll be an 0-1. Fouled off first base side on a check swing. And the count 0-2. In 6 innings of work, Webb has pitched to a 2.84 ERA. Has allowed 8 hits, walking only 1, striking out 6. He comes set. It'll be an 0-2. Runner goes. He struck him out. So Webb comes in and gets the job done. But the Bulldogs strike back. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 big blast, 1 error, 1 man left on base. Get up and stretch. It's 6-4 Garnet. So we head now to the bottom of the 7th, where Will Manley will continue his work. The final line on J.J. Paul, 5 innings, 5 runs, just 3 of them earned, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 2 hit by pitch. Manley faces Beaker, Roberts, and Seppi, and pours in a strike, and finds himself ahead of Cole Beaker, 0-1. Beaker 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Pops this one high and foul, third base side. Coming on as the shortstop. Cannot make the play. Just sort of past the tip of his glove. That would have been a very impressive basket catch on behalf of Cody Mish. But it lands just out of his reach, and Beaker gets a second life. Trying to add some insurance runs for the Garnet. After Charlie Barrebo brought Desales to within 2 with a 2-run blast last inning as Beaker fouls that one third base side out of play. Count holds 0-2. The 0-2 from Manley is ripped through the second base hole and into right field for a base hit.
Now batting, number 33, Jackson Roberts.
So Jackson Roberts comes to the plate with a man on board. He is 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI and run scored. He also struck out. Manley comes set. The pitch. Cut on a miss. And the count 0-1. That one sky deep to left field. Going back is White. Looking up, Dilly my Dal. That's a danger ball. Jackson Roberts answers with a 2-run home run of his own, and the Garnet lead 8-4. That was a mile long and a mile high. It's not often that you see a home run make a perfect isosceles triangle. That's just about what happened. As that's maybe the highest ball I've seen hit, just clearing the 319 fence. And the Garnet now lead 8-4. Roberts' first of the year. And White goes out to settle down his pitcher, who kicks some dirt around on the mound in frustration. And the Garnet lead is back to 4. And a little rattled from the home run. Manley falls now behind on the count, 2-0. Seppi has been hit with a pitch in each of his previous 2 at-bats. Finds himself ahead on the count now, 2-0. And that will plunk him for a 3rd time. So the human ball magnet finds his way to first base yet again. And Connor Elliott steps to the plate with a man on and nobody out. Elliott steps to the plate. He is 1 for 1 on the day, drawing a couple of walks. So he skies that one to deep right center field. Back goes Plummer. He's under it. He'll make the catch. And there is one away.
Now batting number 17, Holden Bridge.
Bridge steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 3 on the day, flown out 3 times. Seppi leads off first, and the pitch. And Holden squares around a bunt, and it's a beauty right down the third base line, but it's going to roll foul. Be an 0-1 on its way. But Manley checks on Seppi, who's back safely. And we'll do it again. Seppi off first, Holden at the plate. Luke Mutz waits on deck. Manley comes set, it'll be an 0-1. That one's popped up and is going to land just inside the fence. White makes a sliding effort, but cannot come up with the catch. And Bridge is behind on the count, 0-2. It'll be an 0-2. Now from Manly. Comes set. Seppi leads off first. He's stolen a bag already today. And Manly seems to be thinking about that. Checks on him. But Seppi dives back safely. And we will do it again. Manly comes set. The 0-2 on its way. Up. Runner goes. Throw down to second is not in time. Seppi with his 7th stolen base of the year, 2nd of the day. And now Bridge has a man on second, a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Behind on the count, 1-2. Manly comes set. It'll be a 1-2 to Bridge. The pitch. That one's ripped into left field. Back goes White. He'll be there, and he'll make the catch. So Bridge has hit the ball hard 3 times, but has nothing to show for it today. There are 2 away. And now it'll be Luke Mutz's job to try to get Michael Seppi in from second base. As Manly misses outside. Count 1-0. Manly misses with a fastball in, and Mutz finds himself ahead on the count, 2-0. Mutz 1 for 3 on the day with a beautiful bunt single. Now the Garnet are looking for something a little more. As Seppi leads off second with 2 down, the pitch. There's a strike in the count, 2-1. So the 3-1 on its way from Manly. Seppi leads off second. Mutz at the plate, the pitch. Up and in, ball 4. And there are now 2 aboard for the catcher, Sam Jacobson. Jacobson 0 for 2 on the day with a sac fly and RBI. Trying now to bring Seppi home from second. Manly looks in for the side. Seppi leads off second, Mutz off first. 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Misses inside. Count 1-0. There's a strike.
It's not even a southern tongue. It's just like
because he refuses to call.
That ball's grounded up the middle. Ranging to his left is Amato. He fires to first in time, and that'll do it. But the Garnets get a couple of runs on a couple hits. The big blast. A jack off the bat of Jackson Roberts.
Desales
Garnet
4,
lead 8-4. We head to the 8th. We head now to the top of the 8th. Webb now working with a 4-run lead as the Garnet lead 8-4. Drops a curveball in for a strike on Diaz. It will be 5, 6, and 7. Diaz, White, and White for the Bulldogs. Going to work against sophomore Owen Webb. Garnet starter Ryan Warm went 6 2/3 innings, allowing 4 runs, 3 of them earned, on 9 hits, walked 1, and struck out 5. Gave way to Webb, who struck out the only batter he faced in the 7th, and now is back to work here in the 8th. As Diaz skies that to center, Gillen over, calls, and catches it, and there is one away.
at the plate, number 11, Michael White.
That'll bring Michael White up to the plate. He's ahead on the count now, 1-0. Looking to get something started for the Bulldogs here in the 8th. He grounds that one through the hole on the first base side. That'll be a seeing eye base hit. And with 1 out, the Bulldogs have a man aboard.
Now batting number 18, Nick White.
As Webb misses low and away to Nick White. Count 1-0. That misses low and in. Webb now behind on the count, 2-0. Here's the pitch. That skips in the dirt, gets away from Jacobson. And Mike White able to advance. And Webb finds himself behind on the count 3-0.
I had a really interesting situation beginning of the game. There's a runner on first and nobody out. The kid,
Who's batting us?
them.
And the 3-0 misses just down and in. And Webb walks Nick White to put 2 aboard for the center fielder, Isaiah Goodman.
Now batting number 14.
That will prompt a visit to the
Isaiah
mound
Goodman.
from the Garnet pitching coach. So he'll try to correct Webb's mechanics and bring him back to the strike zone. Goodman already having a good day for a team down 4 runs. He is 1 for 3 with a strikeout, that one being his first hit of the 2019 season. Looking to do some damage here and put the Bulldogs within striking distance. He's got 2 on and 1 out. Mike White off second. Nick White off of first. Bases full of White. Webb gets the sign, comes set. Check the runner, and Goodman shows bunt, takes it back, takes a pitch low, count 1-0.
So anyway, so grounder up the middle. We get the out at first. The kid advances to third.
So 5 straight balls now from Webb. So he's trying to find the zone. Here's the pitch. And that one's chopped to third, past the diving Elliott and through. They're going to wave White around. He will score. Nick White holds it second. It's a base hit and an RBI for Isaiah Goodman. And the Garnet lead is now 8-5. So
At the plate, number 39, Evan Plummer.
Webb comes set the pitch. Caught on a miss. And the count 1-1.
Anyway, so that is a man on third and 1 out. And the next batter singles up the middle. And the kid scores. I gave Warren no earned run because he got a second on a pass ball.
It's still under a run.
What makes you say that?
I don't think the pass ball benefits
Webb behind on the count now, 2-1.
It's not an error.
White off second. White off second. Goodman off first. As the 2-1 is also low in the dirt, count 3-1. Webb struggling to find the zone here in the top of the 8th. The Bulldogs have taken advantage to the tune of 1 run, and they're threatening for more. Plummer, 2 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Looking to continue his success. And the 2-1 misses low and in, count 3-1. That looks like one of those pitches where, if Webb had been around the strike zone leading up to it, he may have gotten the benefit of the doubt from the umpire. Some cries of dissatisfaction emanating from the Swarthmore bench. As Plummer swings through the 3-2 and strikes out. So now there are 2 away. That will bring up Charlie Barrebo.
Now batting number 27, Charlie Barrero.
In his last at-bat, Barrebo went opposite field off of Ryan Warm to make it what was then a 6-4 game. Now, if he does the same, he might tie it. He represents the tying one, and Webb pours in a strike, count 0-1. White off second, Goodman off first, and that ball's grounded to third. Elliott Field steps on the bag for the force, and that will do it. But the Bulldogs get a run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. We've played 7.5. It's 8-5 Garnet here on the Garnet Sports Network. We head now to the bottom of the 8th as Will Manley takes on the top of the Garnet order. It will be Gillen, Levitt, and Beaker to try to add to the Garnet lead. Manley's pitch is cut on a miss, and the count is 0-1. And that one is chopped weakly to short. Charging is Mish, fires to first, and the throw gets away. And is not in time. Or it doesn't get away, but does pull Diaz off the bag.
Now batting number
And
3,
Gillen is aboard with an
Charlie
infield single.
Levitt.
That will bring Charlie Levitt to the plate. Levitt 0 for 4 on the day with a couple of strikeouts, looking for his first hit, and he rips that one through the second base hole for a base hit. And Plummer bobbles the ball, fires to third, not in time. The throw allows Levitt to move to second. So a little bit of a moment of panic from the junior from Philadelphia as he bobbled the ball, saw that Gillen had sort of slowed up when he rounded second, and then turned it back on, was able to reach third easily, but Plummer's throw, more importantly, lets Levitt move to second base. Now Cole Beaker has 2 men in scoring position with nobody out. And the dangerous Jackson Roberts awaiting on deck. Beaker 2 for 4 on the day with a strikeout. Has an opportunity to collect a couple RBIs here. Manley comes set, and the pitch is up and away. Beaker ahead on the count 1-0. Here's the pitch. It's low, and the count 2-1. There's a strike.
I walked 14,000 steps yesterday. Yeah. I didn't work out or anything. I traveled 7 miles.
Gillen leads off third. Levitt off of second. Beaker ahead on the count 2-1. Manley comes set, and the pitch. That's inside as Beaker jumps out of the way. Count 3-1.
So yeah, we're still far from done with everything. But the hard part's out of the way. Yeah. Did the cable person? No. Nope. It was like 12:35. I
White has a word with his pitcher. Now heads back behind the plate. Manly behind on the count 3-1 to Cole Beaker. Looking to add to the Garnet lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch. And that ball gets away from White. Coming home with ease is Levitt, and no one can find the ball. Levitt takes a big turn. And on the pass ball and base on balls, Beaker is able to go all the way to second. So Gillen scores. Levitt moves to third. Beaker moves to second. The Garnet have 2 on and nobody out. And here is Jackson Roberts at the plate, who last time deposited a baseball about 200 feet in the air and 330 feet to left field. That will conclude Will Manley's evening. Garnet lead 9-5 in the bottom of the 8th. We'll be back in a bit. We return to the bottom of the 8th. The line on Manley. He pitches 2 innings, allows 4 runs, 3 of them earned. That's 5 hits on 2 walks, struck out 1, gives up a home run and a hit by pitch to boot. The Bulldogs will intentionally rock Jackson Roberts to load the bases, and they bring up baseball magnate Michael Sepe, who has been hit by a pitch in 3, or in his last 3 at-bats. That will conclude the afternoon for Jackson Roberts, as Andrew Burgess will pinch run for him at first base. Not much for Burgess to do except not get picked off. The bases are full of Garnet ball players. Charlie Levitt leads off third. Cole Beaker off second. Now Burgess off first. Michael Sepe steps to the plate, and it will be Andrew Cuono's job not to hit him. And that misses outside. And the count 1-0. Pardon me, that is Andrew Kornapis on the mound. A junior from Easton, Pennsylvania, stands 6'4". Thus far on the year, Kuanopis has struggled. He's thrown just 4 innings, but allowed 5 runs on 6 hits, all of them earned. Walked 1, struck out 2. As that one skied to shallow left. As coming on is White. He cannot make the catch. Levitt will score. Beaker moves to third.
Now batting
It's a
number
base hit
2,
for Michael
Connor
Seppi
Hawley.
and an RBI. The Garnet now lead 10-5.
But we'll leave the other one unearned.
And that's going to get a piece of Elliott, and that will bring in a run. Cole Beaker scores. Burgess moves to third. Seppi to second. Now the bases are loaded for Holden Bridge.
Now batting number 17.
Bridge has hit the ball a
Holden
couple
Bridge.
times, but has nothing to show for it. Still looking for his first hit of the day. Kuanopis misses high. And the count 1-0. Missing now outside, count 2-0. Bases are loaded for the Garnet, a couple runs in, and still nobody out. Holden Bridge at the plate, ahead on the count 2-0. Kuanopis comes set, deals outside 3-0. Three-0 from Kuanopis. There's a strike. And the count 3-1. The bat did not move from Bridges' shoulder. And Kuanopis balks. So that will not count as a strike. 1 run will score. There are now runners on second and third. And what was a close game, for the most part, is quickly getting out of hand. There are still nobody out. The pitch is up and in, ball 4. So balk or no balk, the bases remain loaded with nobody out. And Luke Mutz steps to the plate.
Now batting number 7, Luke Mutz.
And Kuanopis having trouble finding the strike zone. After walking Bridge on 5 pitches, misses outside here to Mutz. And the pitch is high. Count 2-0. Not exactly the body language you want to see either. There's been a lot of pounding of the glove. A nervous fidgeting with the hat as Kuanopis toes the rubber, comes set. It'll be a 2-0, the pitch. There's a strike. And the count 2-1. Seppi off third, Elliott off second, Bridge off first. Mutz at the plate, ahead on the count, 2-1. As the 2-1 misses inside, count 3-1. Nowhere to put Mutz. Sam Jacobson, the catcher, awaits on deck. Bases full of Garnet, who lead 12-5 here in the bottom of the 8th with nobody out. There's a strike. The outside corner, count 3-2. Payoff pitch is chopped back up the middle. This could be 2. I need it stance it to Mish fires to first.
Now
In
batting
time.
number 9, Sam Jacobson.
And the Bulldogs get a much-needed double play. There's a strike to Jacobson. Double play scores a run. Garnet now lead 13-5. Connor Elliott leads off third. It's Jacobson's job now to bring him in. And Kaunupis finds himself newly emboldened by the double play, ahead on the count 0-2, as Jacobson grounds this one to short, but it's booted by Mish, picks it up, throws, fires to first, in time to end the inning. But the Garnet score 5 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, 1 man left on base. Last licks for the Bulldogs. Coming up next. So we head now to the top of the 9th.
Now batting number 10, Cody.
It will be Mish, Amato, and Medina. For the Bulldogs, a couple of defensive changes for the Garnet. Terrell Dale takes over in left field for Charlie Levitt. And Andrew Olson is behind the plate in place of Sam Jacobson. Webb's first pitch is in there for a strike. And he kicks and deals. The 0-1 is chip foul, third base side. On the run is Elliott. He will not get there.
Defensive changes for the Garnet. Terrell Dale.
And the count
steps into play.
0-2.
And Andrew Olson is behind the plate.
We know 2 from Webb. Up and away, count 1-2. And the 1-2's fouled off. Count holds 1-2. As Webb misses low with a breaking ball, count even 2-2. That one's lined weakly to short. Mutz grabs it on the fly. And there's one down.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, number 3, Preston Amato.
Webb kicks and deals. That one's lined into right field. It's going to be a base hit. Bridge cuts it off and gets it in. So Amato is aboard with 1 down. And that will bring up the third baseman,
Now batting number 21,
Johnny Medina. As Webb misses low and in, count 1-0. Here's a pitch. Ball misses inside, count 2-0. Breaking ball misses. And Medina now ahead on the count, 3-0. Mono leads off first with 1 out. The 3-0 from Webb is in there for a strike. Count 3-1. As the breaking ball misses, up and in for ball 4. So, the Bulldogs aren't done yet. They have a little bit of life, a couple of men aboard with 1 out as they try to fight their way back here in the top of the 9th.
Now batting number 41, Sergio Diaz.
Brings up the left-hander, Sergio Diaz, the first baseman. As Webb comes set, checks the runner in, deals. Fastball misses low and away, count 1-0. There is action in the Garnet bullpen. As Webb comes set, checks the runner and deals. That ball's swinging, hit in the air to deep right field. Back goes Bridge. Towards the track, leaping, and it's off the wall. And the runners froze, not knowing if Bridge was going to get to it. From here, it looked pretty improbable that he make the catch, but Amato had to hold. And so it's a very, very loud single for Sergio Diaz, and the bases are now loaded. Michael White steps to the plate from the Bulldogs. He's 3 for 4 on the day. Batting now with the bases juiced. Webb looks in for the pitch and comes set. And White swings and misses. Count 0-1. White swings at Webb's offering. Count 0-2. Bases are full of Bulldogs. It's Amato at third, Medina at second, Sergio Diaz at first. Michael White at the plate trying to chip away at the Garnet's 13-5 lead. Owen Webb on the mound trying to close things out for the Garnet. Webb ahead on the count 0-2 with 1 away. He looks in for the sign and comes set. It'll be an 0-2. He struck him out, and there are 2 away.
Now batting number 18, Nick White.
So the game now is in the hands of Nick White for the Bulldogs. As he chips it to shallow right field, Beaker makes the call, and the catch and the Garnet make our dreams come true. Final line, Desales goes 5-13-4, fall to the Garnet's 13-10-2. Swarthmore Garnet improved to 12-3, while the Bulldogs drop to 7-9. Ryan Warren, the winning pitcher. J.J. Paul will take the loss. As we wrap up a chilly day of baseball here at Clothier Field, my name is Moses Rubin. Thank you for listening to the Garnet Sports Network. and have a great week.